Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome everyone to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And as you can see, if you're watching us on YouTube, we are not in our home studio. Again, we have the opportunity to be directly at MorningStar Senior Living, and we have a wonderful community here that has been undergoing this incredible renovation. And I've talked to our listeners a little bit more about how amazing this community is up in Everett, Washington, just right in the backyard of Payne Field, literally. And the nice thing about it is, obviously, is that it's been in the community for a very, very long time, just undergone a new acquisition by MorningStar Senior Living, as well as obviously some incredible upgrades. And we're here again to finish our series where we started the foundational principles of wellness. And we know that you guys are all excited because running our analytics, I just learned that Elena's first 4 segments is right now, out of all of our library of over 700 podcasts, she's #1 right now. So this is really important for all of you who are care partners that are taking care of a loved one or thinking about how do you keep the best quality of life for your senior loved ones. And so guess what? We are back with the last 4 foundational principles, and Elena Cuevas, who's the vice president of the region here at MorningStar Living. She's up here from California again and here to meet with us. And Elena, welcome back to Answers for Elders.
Thanks, Susan. It's great to be here, and thank you all for listening as well, and having those many downloads and hits. It's truly a blessing, and when we greatly thank you and appreciate you for all that. And just to kind of recap, we talked about MorningStar taking a holistic approach to wellness, and we talked about the 8 principles of wellness and what that looks like. So we started with emotional wellness. We had environmental wellness. We have safety as a big key issue in wellness.
Absolutely.
And now we're going to talk about occupational wellness, spiritual wellness, intellectual, social, and physical. Okay, so what I wanted to really start off with is spiritual wellness. The spiritual wellness is important for all of us, I feel, in the sense that it brings us closer to our core beliefs and principles.
Yes.
Here at MorningStar, we live by 5 core values. And our 5 core values as a company is love, kindness, honesty, goodness, fairness, and respect. And above all that, I believe that the best one for me, at least, has been love, because with love, you conquer all. Yes. And if we look at that as a spiritual wellness, it's just being a good person. It's doing the right thing and doing the right thing by others. Yeah. And when you have that heartbeat, it just radiates. And we want to be radically different as a company. And I believe that if we, as a company, as staff members, as team members, as our residents and families, when we do this for each other,
yes,
you can radically feel the difference when you walk into the building.
Well, and there's 2 things that I'm going to say specifically about MorningStar. Number 1, I walk into this community and every single person is smiling.
Yeah.
There's just this sense of well-being when you come through the door, which is really incredible. And, oftentimes you don't see that. You see seniors that may not be, happy just because they're suffering or they're having a hard time. But I think it's the well-being factor is because they feel loved and they feel cared for. And I was speaking with John Jager, your vice president of operations and corporate office yesterday. I had the privilege of talking to him, and we were talking a little bit about your community and how your philosophy in your company. And one of the things that I said to him is like, you guys automatically bring people in like they're a member of your family.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that really prevails everything, that you don't feel like you're an outsider here.
Right.
You feel like you're included, that
Right.
you're honored, and that you're validated. And I think that's really important.
When your spirit feels good.
Yes.
Right. That's when your spirit feels good, you know, it's going to be a good location. It's going to be a good community. It's going to be a good home. When I think about my home, you know, my personal home with my family, love is at the center of home, of family, and what makes that look good and feel good. And so I think that's what we do exceptionally well here at MorningStar Senior Living, in all of our communities here at Silver Lake in particular. It's really embodying love, kindness, honesty, goodness, fairness, and respect in everything that we do. Again, it starts at our core, but we believe in spirituality as a key dimension in wellness.
Right.
We are open to all religions. At the end of the day, you know, we want our residents, our families, members to feel included,
Right.
offering a lot of different spiritual things on site, from Bible studies, going to different churches. My mom is a Seventh-day Adventist herself, so she would be going out to church on Saturdays, spending all day on a Saturday, to even offering meditation, yoga, going out to a park and being out in the elements and being able to be one with Mother Earth, right? So there's a lot of ways that we will encompass spirituality within our communities.
Well, and it's true, because we've done a remote location not too long ago, Stacy, and we were out in your garden. And I think one of the things that spiritual wellness does is it grounds you as an individual. It's like you have this sense of knowing this foundation of your source, whatever that is. But I think one of the things that I do know is that everyone has a different idea of what that path looks like, because there's infinite personalities, right? And infinite ways in which our Creator has made us.
Right.
So we're making choices that are best for one another. And I think one of the things that's really important from this is finding that center within yourself, to know who you are, to have that grounding, and then be validated for that. I know that there's a lot of things out there in this world right now where people are being persecuted because of their beliefs or their spiritual wellness. And I think the thing that you guys are doing is you're including, you're being inclusive. You're allowing people to be validated for who they are.
Amen.
And I think that's one of the things that, you know, is really clear.
Amen. And that's exactly what we're aiming to do, Suzanne. And thank you so much for saying it that way, because it is important for us as humans. And it goes back to, again, our core values in fairness and kindness, and love and everything that we do. But it is providing a safe haven for us to be individually ourselves, and to be kind to ourselves as well. Part of spiritual wellness is self-care. So when we look at spiritual wellness, it's really taking a look at what's inside of us, right? Spiritually, who we are as people. Are we being kind? You know, are we being fair? I have to, you know, I constantly have to do a self-check myself. And that's why I love to meditate. I love to go hiking, and our residents have the opportunity and the ability to do all these things, which is amazing. Life does not stop.
No,
it doesn't.
So Elena, when someone enters your community, and a new person, how do you tap into who they are? What is your process to get to know them?
That is a great question. I'm glad you asked. So we actually have a document that we call "To Love Me is to Know Me." And so the "Love Me is to Know Me" document really allows our residents to put everything on this piece of paper so that we get to know them a little bit better. I'm a big believer, I'm sure some of your listeners have heard of the 5 love languages. So there is the golden rule: treat everybody as you want to be treated. And then there's the platinum rule, which is treat others as they want to be treated. And so, you know, this document really helps us provide the best living for our residents based on their needs, and what and how they feel loved.
And you know, one of the things that you said that really resonated with me is treat others how they want to be treated.
Correct.
As a senior, maybe developing memory issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, one of the things that happens obviously is that I witness people in our industry start treating them like children, or family members get controlling, or they forget about the whole principle of, who's this loved one, whether they're, what stage of Alzheimer's or dementia they may have, or anything like that, there's still this foundational principle of who they are. And I think to continue to honor that is really important, is it not?
Absolutely critical. There's a famous quote I'm sure everybody knows is, people may not remember what you said, but they remember how you made them feel. And that's part of our souls, right? That's part of spirituality, and that spiritual wellness as well. So to know me is to love me. When you get to know me and the things that I like, ice cream, for instance, we have a resident who loves chocolate ice cream. And so we always look for ways to make that happen for them. And sometimes if we run out of chocolate ice cream, can we run to the store, get chocolate ice cream for this particular resident because that's what they love? Or can we make it by adding chocolate syrup on top of vanilla ice cream? We'll find a way. Our answer is always going to be yes. But when you get to know me, you get to love me as an individual, you get to appreciate my troubles, my tribulations. Our residents, what my 95-year-old resident experienced in her life is not that much different from what I'm experiencing in my life, from love, from relationships, from starting a new job, starting a new career, or, buying a new house, doing an emotional change or a financial change. We're not that far apart. And so when we get to know each other, we get to appreciate each other. And when we look at spiritual wellness, being able to allow our residents to be their individual, unique selves. Wow. Wow.
And to be open to experiencing new perspectives, I think is important, and certainly to honor those paths wherever they are. And I mean, I think about so many of us, I think about what our veterans have experienced, and I know you have a pretty large veterans population here. And one of the things I think that's really interesting about this whole thing is that they've had experiences that none of us can even imagine.
Can't imagine.
And yet, at the core of who they are, there's a lot of things that may be suppressed, may be covered up because of those experiences. And to find a way to kind of enter that world a little bit and appreciate their process, I think is a big part of it, is it not?
100% it is. And again, that to love me is to know me, is what helps us bridge that gap and help us allow to better communicate and provide the best ultimate care for our residents on a daily basis.
And so to each and every one of you, Elena and I are back with 3 more foundational principles of wellness right after this.
We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.